Hey, what's going on, Eagles fans? This is Ariel Bedford for TCC Athletics here at the TCC softball complex with head coach Patty Townsend after the last doubleheader here in Tallahassee for the Lady Eagles softball team this season, facing the Chipola Lady Indians and splitting with them on actually winning Game 2 in exciting fashion by the score of 2-1. Coach, let's kind of talk a little bit about Game 1. Obviously, that one got a little bit away from you guys 8-0. Can you tell me about what you thought, what you saw out there in Game 1?
I just don't think they were ready to come out and play. Multiple errors, timely errors, and we really have been talking about finish the play, keep the play going, stop it, and let's really recover the ball,
right.
Secure the ball, and we didn't do that. And I don't think that Raya had a great game on the mound. Her arm's been bothering her a little bit, but it wasn't one of her best performances. And hitting wise, we just didn't come in when we needed to.
Yeah, we don't want to harp obviously too much on Game 1. We want to focus on the positives of Game 2. But just to kind of cap off Game 1, I noticed you just brought up Raya. The arm thing, is that more of a fatigue thing, or just just natural stuff at the end of the year?
I think she's been battling a little bit of the arm stuff all year, and it's just continual wear, and we only have the 2 pitchers right now, so she has to throw. So
yeah, and something that I noticed in Game 1, the leadoff hitter for Chipola, Dana Edmondson, she was very effective in the game with 3 hits and was 3 of 4, also with 3 runs. Can you talk a little about her effectiveness in Game 1?
Oh yeah, I mean their whole lineup is pretty dangerous, and Game 2 we shut them down and kept them quiet. But yeah, she's a heck of a hitter. She hits the ball hard consistently, and she can put a little bunt down. She's got speed, so she's definitely kind of a triple threat for us. So.
Right. Now let's get to Game 2 again. An exciting game that you guys were able to pull out. Really from the gate, it obviously was going to be nip and tuck. And can you talk a little bit about Brooke Marandino and what she was able to give you? And on this one, really was a gut check in order for you guys to be able to pull the second one out.
Yeah, I mean everyone kind of stepped up and limited the errors, and Brooke had a great defensive day for us and finished out that last play and made a heck of a catch for us. And Alex Cook, just on the mound, really did a great job of keeping them off balance, hitting their spots, and our defense was really the key there. We didn't make very many errors, so we really kept them limited, and they weren't costly errors, and we came back and made some good plays.
Yeah. Another thing in Game 2 that I noticed, a lot of extended at-bats where your batters were fighting off foul balls, really making the pitcher extend their count. Can you talk a little bit about what you saw from the patience of the Lady Eagles at the plate in Game 2?
I just thought they were completely a different team Game 2 versus Game 1. They definitely went into the box more focused and ready to go, and had a little bit of grit, a little bit of fight, a little bit more fight in their eyes, and they did a great job of just getting a lot of pitches and not swinging at bad pitches and allowing them to throw more and more.
Yeah, and really the bottom of the second actually was one of the most effective innings of Game 2 with Gilo striking out at the top of order. Back up, Brooke Marandino was able to use her speed to get her slapper down the first baseline, eventually getting a run with a head-first dive at home plate in order for you guys to get your first one on the board there with just 2 outs. Can you talk about what you saw from KK, Brooke, with some of the base running and just a lot of the aggressiveness, with the fact that there were only 3 runs scored in that second game, and it was all those little plays, that little effort plays, that don't necessarily you see them on the stat sheet in softball, that kind of made the difference in Game 2.
Yeah, definitely. We've always talked about if we put the ball in play, and with the speed that those 2 have, if we put it in play, we're going to force some errors and make them make some poor decisions and maybe a fielder's choice, and they don't quite get it. KK does a great job running the bases. She's super aggressive. Sometimes it bites her, but tonight it worked out for her, and so I couldn't be more pleased with that.
Yeah, what did you think about that great snag by Brooke to finish that game?
Oh man,
that was big time,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Now, obviously, Coach, to kind of cap up this split here, as you see Game 1, you guys have 4 errors. Pretty much they, were leading to runs. And then if you notice in the bottom of the second, the inning that we just discussed, there were 2 Lady Indians errors that essentially led to those 2 runs that you guys were able to capitalize off of. It seems like errors. It's really a big deal. Sort of like turnovers are in other sports like
Yeah.
basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you seeing some of the issues with kind of the errors on the positive or the negative side for your team right now in the season?
I mean, I think on both sides of the field, you know, both teams are definitely both teams are capitalizing on the other team's errors, and so it's really who can put the ball in play the best and the most, and put it on the ground and force some of those issues and force the errors and then get base runners on and keep moving around.
Yeah.
So.
What do you hope that this split, this last stance at home does for the team as you guys continue the rest of the season and hope to push for being able to get down to Vero Beach?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge for us to split tonight and kind of separate ourselves from the rest of the pack. And, we've got 4 games left in conference, and then the last round is a bye. So, we've got to get the wins when we can get the wins. And, it always boils down to the very last weekend
Right.
in the very last series. And you always want to have those, if we would have done this, would have done that. And, tell the kids, hey, we just got to go through. We've got to go after Pensacola, and we've got to go after Gulf Coast.
Right. Well, speaking of Pensacola, that is the next matchup for the TCC Lady Eagles after finishing 21-17 with their doubleheader today. They will next face Pensacola State in Pensacola on Saturday in the doubleheader. The first game is set to start at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For more information on the TCC Lady Eagles softball team, please visit tcceagles.com.